some stuff out. It's a mess. It's a mess. I did get some of my Thanksgiving stuff out, but it's Christmas. It's Christmas season, and I have to do chicken stuff today, so Christmas chicken sweater. There we go. Happy Monday. Oh my gosh. How was everybody's Thanksgiving? How was it? One for the books. It was so good. So good. Oh, the food came out, nothing burnt. Like, I've never really burnt, but Thanksgiving was amazing. So how was your Thanksgiving? What did you do that you were just like, that was awesome? I'll tell you what mine was, because I always do things a little different every year. Loved my candlesticks. Having individual hurricanes for each candlestick was a really great idea, because I do a full centerpiece with a garland down the middle of the table, and candlesticks melt and they can tip. I had really long candlesticks. They were actually taller than the hurricanes. Those babies burnt for so long. Let's see, we lit them at about 2:15 in time for dinner. They stayed through dinner cleanup, through dessert. Hours. I think they burned for 4 hours. Anyways, good morning. Say hi when you're here. I want to hear about how Thanksgiving was. I added a few things. So I did candlesticks, love them. Having individual hurricanes, great addition. I reset my table this year. Hello. My sister-in-law got this for me, and for today I got to do chicken work after this, and it's Christmas season. I like decorating for Christmas. I like Christmas food. I like Christmas desserts. It's been a great week. Having the Thanksgiving, it was so good. But I set my table. It looked nice. There's some things I wish I would have done different, but doesn't matter. It still looked nice. And after dinner, I have a rule. Like, the men get to go down to our pool room, play pool together after dinner, but they got to earn it. I hand out Ziploc bags, gallon-sized Ziploc bags, and they got to go bag the ham, bag the turkey, bag the mashed potatoes, bag the gravy. Like, they got to go put the food in the bags. It's easier to store in the fridge in Ziploc bags than containers also. And the dressing, the gravies. I mean, gravy makes everything better. That is so great, Karen. I like an easy breezy Thanksgiving. I like a lot of people in my house. Like, we had friends over that came because their kids were away on a trip with their grandparents. And they were like, I don't know what we're going to do. I'm like, come to my house. Come to my house. And they did. It was so much fun. They brought homemade ice cream. It was so good. But after the guys bagged up dinner, they went and played pool for like an hour, hour and a half. And that's when I go in and I kind of start cleaning up dishes. But I do it with my sister and then my friend, and it's a good time. Like, it's a good kitchen time. We just have fun. We wash some dishes. There's a washer, there's a dryer, there's a gatherer. And it gives time for the food to settle, take a break. I mean, we had people at our house for 9 hours. It was so good. And then I went in and I picked up all my plate chargers, and I reset new plate chargers, and I reset the whole table placings for dessert. Best thing ever. I went to the pool room. I was like, all right, dessert's time. It's dessert time. We had 3 pies. I had my pumpkin loaf, and everybody sat down together again for dessert. I think it was so fun to do it that way. And then afterwards, everybody went back down and played pool. Kids went and watched some Christmas movies on the living. It was one of those Thanksgivings that brought me back to my childhood, and it was just amazing. And then my son called, and he's coming home in 2 weeks. Your son helped you with the cooking. That was the biggest torture for my son as a teenager, was when he had to help, like, peel potatoes. He wasn't able to be here for Thanksgiving, but I've talked about this before. I do gingerbread day, and that is happening in 2 weeks, and he's bringing home his girlfriend. I've met her once. I am super organized. I have a schedule with times, like when to pull things, when to start things, when to cut things, and then I tape it up to one of my cabinets. It's not fancy. I just tape a piece of paper up. And then there's another one with my husband's gravy recipe above the gravy station. We have it down to a science. We've been doing it for 15 years. My sister-in-law, she cooked for the first time for Thanksgiving with her mom, and she's like, I don't know how you do it. How do you finish everything at the same time? I'm like, you'll get there. You'll get there. But I think she'll be here next year, so that's fun. Okay. I added a bistro table to our pool room too, and that was awesome because I had all of our appetizers taken down to the pool room. So there was food down there. They were like, what do we do with all these appetizers? I'm like, take them to the pool room. They're going to graze. They're going to graze for the rest of the night. And it was just, oh my God, I'm on a high. And it's Monday, and this was Thursday. It's so good. So now I'm planning gingerbread day. And so I'm going to be doing my makeup. We're going to do the makeup. And the lip lining tint stains. These are on sale. There is a link in the description. Oh my gosh, I do stickies on my platter. Yes, yes. Or where they're supposed to go. I did forget that the Dijon mustard. The bowl was out and it was empty. So I have a note on next year's menu about pulling the butter early and getting the Dijon mustard out for the ham. So that was what I forgot. But I take notes now for next year, and I put it in my Thanksgiving section in my cookbook. So, oh, that's exactly what I do because I'm always like yelling at people to grab a platter, like, go get this, go get that. And then yeah, it's so good. Oh, it was very minor. Okay, so the lip liner stain, there's a link in the description. It's my link tree. It has a lot of things linked. These lip stains are, I think, usually $12 or $13. Hello from Tennessee. You're the only Tennessee. I love that joke. These are $8.25 right now. So if you're looking to get these, $8.25 for a lip stain. I just ordered, these are great stocking stuffers. You can use them as a lip color. You can use them as a lip liner. I used this on Thanksgiving. It was so good. I'm also going to be using a new setting spray today that's replaced my setting powder. And I'm oily. All right. But, oh, it was so good. I'm going to ask for help today. So my son, he's 24. And he's bringing home his girlfriend. She's 21. They're kind of new. You know, that whole, is this going to work? They're working things out. I don't know. I'm staying out of it. It's my job to stay out of it and just listen, which is so hard. Anyways, I never leave anyone out. And so because he's coming in 2 weeks for gingerbread day, okay? About 2 last night. That's good. I ordered mauve, or mauve as some people are calling it, but I ordered mauve. I have the coral. It's so hard to read the bottoms. And I have Get Ready, which is red. And then I have Pinked, which is pink. These are great. These are fantastic. It was so good for Thanksgiving because while I'm cooking and getting the table and yelling at people and doing all the things, oh my gosh, my husband was shooting champagne corks across the kitchen through the dining room into our living room, which was our formal dining room for Thanksgiving, to see who could catch it. I was gonna murder somebody. I wish I would have videoed it. It was such a good time where, like, while my husband and I are cooking, everybody was like, just this, it was so fucking good. Sorry. But we're going to do the makeup. I've got to get my palette out. We're going to do our eyes first. I think I'm going, I really wish I had the mauve. I wanted to try that one. I think I'm going to do Pinked as my stain today while we do, okay, which setting powder? I like the pressed blotting dust, I think is what it's called. I like vanilla dust. I used it for a long time, but then they came out with the blotting dust, and I really like it. It has a sheen to it. I had to clean this room because my husband was getting upset with me. It's not clean, but it's cleaner. Saint Fragrances. Okay. This is the blotting dust, and it's very good because it has a sheen to it. I really like it. Again, with all powders, they change consistency. Just go light, work from the outside in. So good. Saint Fragrances. My favorite fragrance is, let me find it, Stardust. I keep it in my car. Our fragrances, I believe, okay. Fragrance, oh, for the new girlfriend. Oh yeah, I thought you were asking. I'm gonna throw one of these in there. Good idea. I try not to throw Saint at a bunch of people. I'm weird like that. I don't talk about my makeup to like family or friends or locals. I'm weird. My dog's barking. Okay, let's put on, I got my Christmas mugs out. Okay, we're gonna do pink. Let's get started, all right? Okay, Saint fragrances for the new girlfriend. I'm slow, okay? But, so for rosacea, I have redness on my scarring. So this is old cystic acne scarring. I got a little bit lucky and it's just surface color, not texture. Daylily. I'm gonna use it today. Daylily is so pretty. And it works. Frenchie, I loved Frenchie, and then Daylily came out. Daylily I thought was gonna fall flat, and I find it to be just a really nice neutral color. Okay, so we're gonna put this stuff on. This is the Pink Lip Stain 825 on Amazon. There's a link in the description. And we're just gonna pop it on. You don't have to be super perfect because it's stained. Okay. But today's a chicken day. And so I'm gonna be pretty light with my makeup. Okay. Sorry, I hate doing this. And then I'm just gonna buff it on the inside to have some fade. I like it thick though. I like my lip liner a bit thick, okay? There we go. Okay, good morning, Brandy. Okay, Daylily is such a beautiful, I like something that does more than one thing. And this combats rosacea, but I also think rosacea, play with it. Because your rosacea, if it's on your cheeks, you can use it to your advantage. It's a blush without trying. So kind of let it peek through a little bit and let it be a part of your blush and learn to embrace it. I mean, come on. Some days my discoloration is worse than others, and you know how that is with rosacea, but play with it and let it be a part of your face and all that. Okay, so I've got pinked on. This will peel off after we do the eyes. I'm going to use my Singen's Shadow Sense. There's a link for this also. I love this stuff. And then my BK Beauty. These are all very good stocking stuffers for people. I mean, I don't sell Singen's. I'm not signed up with them. I have my friend's link. I don't even get credit points, nothing when you buy it. It's just a really great product. I do Saint. I stand behind the makeup. MLM, affiliate program, whatever. I'm using Saint makeup because I haven't found anything that I like more. And that's it. That's my only reason. I like it more than other makeups. Traditional foundations, I find that they crack, they settle. I prefer dewy finish foundations that are traditional from trying different ones. I mean, if I could find one I like more, I mean, I will let you know. I just love makeup. This stuff is really great. Your makeup will last all day, all night. So if you've got holidays, if you have my nails, this is just a sheer pink. It's a short, I don't like my nails to be too, this is almost too long for me. I have long nail beds, but my nails are fairly short, but they're pink. Okay. Let's see. So we're going in, this is color Candlelight. There's a lot to choose from. I like Candlelight as a good base. This is going to give me, you can get your nails however you want. They're your nails. So for me, I use, Babe Lash Serum. It's causing a lot of discoloration around my eyes, but this is a really great primer because it's going to cancel out any of that discoloration and give me a nice canvas. It's a way of Bob Rossing the lids. And so I'm just going to use this BK Beauty brush, also linked in the description. Great stocking stuffer. BK Beauty has really fantastic brushes. I use Saint for eyeshadows, but if you're looking for a non-Saint brush set, BK Beauty is really good. Elf is also very good, but this is brush 204. This is the one that's linked. They have a small eyes collection one. I don't think it's that great of a collection. There's a lot of brushes in there I won't use, but this cancels all that discoloration. Do you see how it just canceled it? And you can bring it down below if you want, but this will keep your eyeshadow from creasing. So for Thanksgiving, I wanted my eyes, obviously I had to get up early because I started all my stuff. Started very late on my table, so I wasn't able to do the buffet table till the morning. I got up at 6 a.m. and got ready. People didn't start arriving until noon, and so I needed to be ready and cooking by then. My cooking started at 8:30 because we eat at 2:30, and then nobody left my house until 9. We had people at our house until 9 p.m. It's a long time. My eyeshadow never creased, and it looked just as good as it did when I first put it on. It was so good. Okay, I've got this on, and then you want to have a nice powder powders blend best on top of powders. And so I always use a nice base powder. I've always used more of a cream color, a lot like this candlelit color. Lately I've been doing pinks. I'm trying to get all my eyeshadows out. I love the Advent. The Advent is still available, which is shocking. The Advent is still available. I have my eyeshadows spread everywhere, but we're gonna use Paris. This is just a pale pink. Mama's another good option. And I'm just gonna take that same brush. I always have, this is a brush I only use for the primer and a base. I don't use this for color. So browns, purples, any of that. This brush is solely used just to prep. And it's because I don't want other colors to compromise what I'm laying as my base, because we want something different every day. Browns, purples, greens, blues, whatever. So having this be just a nice, easy, untainted brush to start. All right, so that's a BK Beauty brush. And then I'm gonna go in, and I've been really loving, let's see, I've got my etch brush here. I have an eyeshadow brush, maybe I'll use that. I've been loving the Bright brush. These are all part of the sale. So Black Friday is still going with the sale through tomorrow. So there's still things that are gonna be available, but this is the Bright brush. It's a demi brush, it's silver. It does have a discount. I wish I would've brought my computer in here, but I was Black Friday shopping downstairs, so no computer right here. But this brush is a great eyeshadow brush to get started with. And I'm gonna always put a little bit on my brow bone to start. I like having a little soft shimmer there. Just need to find my eyeshadows. Where did I put all of them? I think they're in here. So I did a bunch of neutrals. I was showing this on my live, and on Facebook I always go live on the first day of the month. I only go live on Monday mornings at 8 a.m. Pacific time here, because if I go live any other time, I end up with people asking for feet pics. I don't know. People are weird. Go to, what is that thing that people show feet on? What is that called? Anyways, go there. But transition colors, I'm gonna sneeze. I'm gonna sneeze at some point. It's living in this side. But people have always been asking me, like, what are good transition colors? I like putting cools with warms, and a lot of the colors we have, Lullaby, Oak, Trust, Coal, those colors I like putting with any one of these. So I've got Zion right here. I've got Holly. This is Claire, Havana. Havana is more of a springy color, I think, but we've got Bubba, Sedona, Leo, Butterscotch, Tangerine. Any of these colors would be fantastic transition colors. These are all the colors I gravitate towards to do it. Obviously this one up here, that's Leo, where I've hit 10. This one's had a little bit of 10, that's Zion. I like using those together, but lately I've been loving Tangerine. It's very close, but it's a little bit lighter than Leo. So pretty, putting it on that fluffy end. I'm gonna pop that up here. I haven't even done my soft shimmer yet, but this just helps it's like the trim of a tree skirt, okay? So you put a tree skirt under your Christmas tree and it kind of peeks out from, the tree is the showcase, okay? The tree is the show. And then you have your skirt, which just kind of comes out. And then there's always some trim on that skirt, right? And that's what this color is. This is just that trim of the tree skirt. It just pops up. But this also helps give the illusion that you don't have a hood. You got a hood, it's there, it's not going anywhere. But just popping this color, you have all this real estate, some more than others, but utilize all of your, from lash to brow, utilize this snockers out of it. I am gonna take one of the Advent colors. I love Lemon Drop, and I'm just gonna pop that right up over top of it a bit. Lemon Drop, it's so good. I love it. I love that. I love Candy Cane is another really pretty pink one. What is this one? It's another pink. This one is Winterberry, so pretty over your blush. Remember when you would put your lipstick on and put powder on it and then lipstick again? Ooh, Wisconsin. But it's the same thing. It'll help with longevity. I like putting it over Marrakesh. So pretty. Marrakesh can work with rosacea, and I mean it works with it. So if it pulls it through, that's okay, and it's kind of an accent to it. So if you're really working with rosacea, it's a good option. All right, I'm gonna do just a neutral eye today. I'm doing chicken work, but I wanted to show an easy, I can't drink coffee with this on. Okay, excuse me. Okay, I've been really liking doing an easy eyeshadow because a lot of people, I have very particular placement. So I put it on that out. I have the brow bone, then I do the bridging from just the base as like a little bit of depth with Zion. I'm gonna skip that. We're just putting Tangerine up here, but I wanna show a way of doing eyeshadow. This is a way that got me started with eyeshadow. This is what my mom taught me when I first started out. So if eyeshadow is intimidating for you, you're gonna take the small end of your brush. Now you can use the bright brush, or there's the eyeshadow brush. The difference is the small end is just a little bit more long and loose, okay? Whichever one you want to use. It doesn't matter, okay? But you're gonna pick a color that's a bit more neutral, not super dark, because it can get out of hand really easy. So that would be Philly, that would be Cocoa, that would be Coal, Trust, Ivy League, any of those really dark colors. Go down a couple of shades. So you could do Labyrinth, you can do Bird, you could do Basic, you could do Cafe, you could do Sedona. I'm gonna go with cool tones because I have this warmth right here. If I do warm on warm on warm, it pulls me Oompa Loompa. Okay, so we're gonna go in with Bird. I'm gonna do Bird, boo, and it's just a nice light brown. I need a new oak, but I wanna go with Bird. I think it's an underrated color. Labyrinth is another good option, but Labyrinth is almost like a darker version of Bird, and we're gonna go with a lighter neutral tone. All right, so we're just gonna take that small one and we're gonna just rub it in, flick off excess. We do our eyes first. I talk about this all the time. If you have your makeup on, it's gonna fall, it's gonna catch, it's gonna stick, and then when you go to clean it up, it's gonna mix. And if you are of an age, I'm 44, it's a rough 44. But if you are of an age where your under eyes are maturing, and that's everybody, people can get maturing under eyes in their 20s. It's really just genetics. But we all have these troughs where makeup can get caught. We have fine lines, we have wrinkles. And so if that makeup falls into your makeup and you're trying to clean it up, it's gonna mix it. And then when you smile, it's gonna take those fine lines, it's gonna take those troughs, it's gonna take that texture that happens when you smile, it's gonna deepen them. And it's going to accentuate them in the wrong direction. Okay, we have texture and it should be used to our advantage. You can take the texture of your skin and make your makeup that you use with it can look luminous. But if you use a dark color and it falls in onto your makeup, it's going to make your eyes look deeper and more mature. So we do our eyes first so we don't screw up the makeup we like. All right, so I have Bird. I'm going to press this and I'm just gonna build across the lash line on the lid, and then I'm gonna go up into the crease. That's where we're gonna start. Do you see how it's just a little bit more brown? All right, I'm gonna pop this. Get one of these. Get one of these, get one of these, get one of these, because it's so nice to just touch your eyeshadow, tap off, and dig in. But you want to build, and I just windshield wiper this. If you have maturing lids, tap it back and forth, go into that crease, and then keep building. But then as you get to that crease, you're gonna start going halfway across, halfway across, halfway across, and up onto that brow bone. And you're just going in an upward and outward motion. And again, tapping works just as good as windshield wipering. And I'm using some little circles in this general area, and it's just about building it up and out. Do you see that? But you wanna make sure that when you rest your face, it doesn't disappear. Do you see how all that pretty work right there disappeared? So rest that face and bring it up onto that area so you can see where it is, and then lift and fill it in, all right? That's what you do. So if you feel like it disappears, just bring that up with that resting face. Just like that. It's that simple, okay? You don't need to overthink this and think, oh, I've got to have it in this perfect little place over here. Nope, just smash this all over, bring it up and bring it out. It's such a nice, soft, neutral color. If you have maturing lids and you don't want shimmer, this is matte. This is good. All right, so grabbing it again, tapping it off. This is a nice buildable color. So you can have it be light if you want it to be light, but then you can build it up. You can get it wet. You can use your finger to build it and punch it up if you want. It's a really great buildable color. If you're looking for a new neutral, you can use this for your brows. If you have light brows, it's a good color that I think gets overlooked a lot. But oak can sometimes be a little too dark. This one can get built up to oak. All right, so again, just building this up and working out. Rest that face so you can see where that hood sits, so you can still see these colors. You don't want to save the good eyeshadow for when you fall asleep on the couch after turkey. You want to show it when you're doing things. Gingerbread decorating, you're looking down, everybody can see it, but then when you look up and you're talking to somebody across the table, I love gingerbread day. I'm so excited. I'm trying to think of a good casserole. It has to be gluten-free, but I'm trying to think, I was gonna do chili. My son really wants ham, but I don't wanna cook a meal while I'm doing gingerbread. I wanna be social. I need a casserole, a holiday casserole. So if somebody knows of a good one, put it in the comments. I can write it down or see it after, but sometimes my comments disappear after the live. So if you know of a good holiday casserole that feeds a bunch of people, let me know. So these are all the things I need help with. But just adding this color, do you see? It's just this nice neutral. Flip it to that fluffy end. Give everything a good final blend. So simple. I'm just gonna go on the tip of the bristles here, tap it off, and we're gonna go under. It doesn't have to be perfect because we haven't done our makeup on our face. All right, so tappy, tappy, tap. If you haven't gotten one of these palette twos, get one. You can keep your setting powder in it. You can keep a quick eyeshadow, just click it in, do it. I have one that's just for brows. These are such handy palettes to have. Okay, take this out, put it back in the palette. All right, let's do something on the lid. I'm gonna use Candy Cane. This one is my husband's favorite out of the Advent. It's purple, but it's also blue. He can't figure out what color it reminds him of, but he's never commented on my makeup as much as he did the day that I opened that one. All right, we're gonna do peppermint. Did I say candy cane? I keep calling it candy cane, but it's peppermint, which is probably why. Okay, hello, Tammy. Okay, we're gonna rub peppermint on the finger, and I'm gonna start on the inner part of the lid and then just go out and let it feather in. But I prefer adding my shimmer with my finger. It just transfers a lot easier. Just starting out and over. Just like that. Okay, let's add our eyeliner. Then we're gonna be able to peel this lip color off. I can drink some coffee finally. But I am gonna be using my Stila Stay All Day, linked. This is linked, great stocking stuff. So here's the thing, anything you get yourself, if you're needing refills or looking for new things, you get to put it in your sock. Do not sit there with an empty sock. I hate that SNL skit. I use it all the time because it's a great example of like, I got a robe and I got an empty sock. And it's like, dude, duochrome eyeshadows are my favorite. They're so pretty. I love these chrome duo. It's so good. Okay, this is Revant. I like it, don't love it. It's just that my Maybelline Tattoo Studio ran out, so that's why I'm using it. All right, we're gonna grab this and I am going to waterline. I've been using my Babe Lash. I wish I could comment in here, can I? No. I wish I could. Okay. Babe Lash, I think that they still have a site-wide 30% off. Their lash primer is so fantastic. My lashes aren't fuller, but they are longer. And I use my mascara to add volume, and I let my lash serum create my length. But I always waterline into my lash line here. It's just that little definition. You see that little definition it adds? And so you press in on this outer corner and then lift up and away. It's gonna tickle at first, it's weird, but then once your waterline's done, start going into the lashes. Just press into the lashes. This is gonna help fill in where your mascara doesn't reach. And then I don't add eyeliner on the mid above my lashes. And so this helps give the illusion that my liner goes all the way across when it doesn't. So we're just pressing that into the lashes. I don't do the lower lash line because it closes it up. And again, I'm 44. So these little tricks of mine are so great. So Stila, stay all day. I have the one-ended pen. Is it a pen? I don't know. Linked. You can get a dual-ended. Don't get the one that looks like a magic wand. One will have a large end, one will have a small end, and it's just perfect for if you have, so I do a tiny but mighty wing that has a purpose other than just being a pretty wing. I don't like those big bold wings. I don't like the bat wings that look like they're attached. I want a wing with purpose. I want eyeliner with purpose at my age. And so I'm gonna show you my trick. We're gonna zoom in. Hey. And here's my trick. Let's really get, woo, there goes my coffee. We're gonna go in good, okay? This is my skin, this is my face, this is what people look like in real life. Anybody who's looking at your face this close is not your friend, okay? All right, we're gonna take this pen, look at how tiny. It's felt tip, it has a little bit of give to it, which you want. You don't want it stiff and hard. Because it's gonna hurt, it's gonna poke, you don't like that. And you don't want it loosey-goosey like a brush because then it just gets all out of hand. Okay, so we're gonna take this and we're gonna go right on this lash line here. And we're going to go from the corner to the lashes. And having a tiny little felt tip gives you control to just be teensy tiny. I'm gonna skip this side so you can see what this does. And then we're gonna go straight in to where the top of the eye goes to, so about a quarter of the way in. And we're gonna go out and up. Not out and up, we're gonna go straight out until you hit the corner. And then we're gonna come, you can see where my eyeliner stops. We're gonna go right from there, end of the lash line, and we're gonna go up. And then we're gonna meet. And the purpose of this is I'm staying within my fold. Do you see that fold? It comes down past my outer corner. So if I let my wing go into that, it's gonna pull it down. And I don't wanna pull my eye down. This eyeliner is gonna give me lift without injections. I have no injections in my face. I've tried them and I didn't hate them, except the price tag. Okay, so we're just gonna press this in and out, and we're just gonna make it nice and tidy, but having this super tiny fine tip works. Okay. Hello Skincare has a BOGO. I don't know if I've used Hello Skincare. Purchase tube of lash therapy. Ooh, okay. If you go to Babe Lash, this is what I meant to say. They sometimes have a buy one, get one. But if you use BWC15, it's a stackable code that gets you 15% off. So I use this very tiny, bulky little wing, and it adds lift. I will have to try that when I run out of this one. Okay, so just adding this little wing right here, it's not big, it's not bold, it's adding a shape to my eye, and that's my purpose with doing this. So then we just get that little inner lash line, and then again, we come out here. They're sisters, not twins. give yourself grace and play with your eye makeup, but using a teensy tiny felt tip is gonna be helpful. And then once you figure out how you like it, it gets easier and faster. See? All right. All right, it's your birthday. Happy birthday. Is it Eileen? Okay, so adding, I don't put any eyeliner in between. And now I'm gonna put in my mascara. I'm gonna use my Babe Lash mascara because it's like $8. And so they have the sale going on. You want the free shipping, so I added this and I was really pleasantly surprised. I feel like it is comparable to the Lashtopia, but different bristles. It has one of those silicone brushes, which I don't like, but it has this little domey end, but these help build the volume. So I'm gonna zoom in again on my eye. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna build volume. So we wiggle this in, get those lashes into the bristles, and you wiggle it in and then lift. Wiggle it in and lift. Looking down helps so you don't stab your eyeball out, but if you do, we're doing our makeup last, so we'll be able to clean it up just fine. But you just wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. I still to this day will sometimes poke my darn eyeball, and it isn't fun. But I build at the base to build the volume that I want. I need a new tube. But I'm building volume here, but building this volume, having that waterline that I have, is going to, what it's gonna do is it's gonna give the illusion now that my eyeliner goes all the way across, just like this, going all the way across, but then I'm building that volume, and by lifting after I've put it into the bristles, it's not gonna give tarantula legs, okay? And so once that starts tacking up, I just build up the tips to help with that length and to showcase the length I've gotten with my serum. And I go from the top out, but then from the bottom as well. And then I can use that little domey end to hit this inner corner where I have some very short ones. But building up that volume on the tips to show that length, because I mean, that's pretty good. If I show, I mean, I don't know if you can see my actual lashes here and what this mascara did, because they're so fine, but using a good mascara, and then we're just gonna go down here and add a light coating onto those lower lashes, just to showcase a little bit, not a lot, all right? Spend the time on the mascara, okay? And then we're just gonna come over here, and again, the more you do it, the faster you get, but I'm an over-explainer. I just think this was something I learned from a makeup counter back in the 90s. And I've been doing my mascara this way ever since. I don't like super thick mascara. I just see tarantula legs when I see that. I've used the Tartelette, the Tubey mascara. I don't love it. I don't know what all the rave is about. I found that it gave me tarantula legs, but it didn't build the volume that I really, really prefer over length. And so I just really work at building that volume at the base and then building my length. So getting those lower lashes a little bit coated, and then that's it. Okay, I'm gonna do my brows last, but never judge a look until it's done. Looking at one thing and saying, like, look at my brows. I mean, they're a hot mess. You gotta start at one part to get to the next. And so never judge any of it until it's done. The coverage, the look. I wanna add more eyeshadow, but I'm gonna wait and see what it looks like at the end. So now I'm gonna stretch this out. I'm gonna take this off. And I just love these little lip stains. I'm glad I'm not zoomed in taking it off, but these are so handy for longevity. If you have a holiday party, this tough glue does not, there we go. Holiday parties, these come in handy because you're drinking out of a wine glass or whatnot. And this, yeah, okay. So just buff off the excess, but it's a beautiful stain. This is the pinked. I'm excited to try the mop, but I'm putting it in my stocking. I'm trying to have self-control. But just buff it off before you do your makeup so you don't buff off your makeup. But it just leaves does it accentuate dry lips? It's a stain, so if you have dry lips, it's gonna look like dry lips with tint. And that's why you can get a lip oil, you can get chapstick, you could do, like I have an Aquaphor right here. And so if you're not a lipstick person, but you want some tint, you can get the mauve, you can get the coral, and then you just take an aqua stick and just put on your chapstick like that. And it doesn't come off. And so if you feel like it's gonna look chapped, just carry around chapstick. And it just gives you a nice hydrated tinted lip, and it's not gonna come off on your stuff. Super simple. Okay. I have plaid, so you can't see, but there's no color on it. Let's do our mugs here. Okay, I'm gonna do my color correcting. I'm gonna use my Plush and Prep Mist. I just ordered 2 more because it's on sale. The sale goes through tomorrow. So if you haven't gotten anything, get it. If you're looking for stocking stuffers, one of the other things that I'm giving my son's girlfriend is a brush cleaner because it works with traditional makeup. She doesn't use Saint makeup. I'm not gonna push her to try, but I think she should. I think everybody should. But I'm gonna Plush and Prep my face. I like this stuff as a good prep mist. I'm gonna use a different setting spray because it is a great sealing setting spray. It is on the pricier side, but I haven't had to use any setting powder. And it keeps my face, it seals the makeup and keeps it good. I don't know how else to explain it. All right, let's get in. My palette is not your palette. I'm having the doggonest time finding my main highlight. I feel like I look washed out lately. I don't know. We're gonna try some things because I've just been struggle busting with it. I'm gonna use my blush and bronzer brush and my detail brush. Let's get the silver shape brush on sale, limited edition. When the silver sells out, it's gold, it looks different, it's not good. So if you're looking for something, silver shape brush, go get it, link in the description. Once these silvers are gone, they won't be back, and the gold one doesn't look the same. It's this part that you're wanting. It's this nice, big, fluffy dolman, perfect for illuminators, for powders, for blushes, correcting. It's great. All right, I'm gonna go into my correctors here. I've got my Aspen, my Suede. All of these are on sale. All of these are on sale right now through tomorrow. Here's the thing. I've tried other creams. Creams I like. I like cream makeup for changing skin, maturing skin. So if your makeup just isn't laying right, if you're noticing, what happened with me was in my 20s, this never happened, but then into my 30s, I started noticing my makeup would crack in my smile lines. It would crack right here. It would gather around my nose, and it drove me nuts, and that was by noon. So if I was gonna go do something after work, I would go home and wash my face and do my makeup all over again. I don't have to do that anymore, and I just needed a makeup that worked with my skin now, not what my skin was. Using a youthful makeup on maturing skin doesn't make you look more youthful. But finding something that works with maturing skin will give you that youthful look because it's gonna add that glow that you feel like is missing. If you feel like your skin is dull, get a cream makeup. Saint has higher pigmentation. It has twice as much pigmentation as stick foundations, and it's a half or even more than that, the price. Merit is $34. These are $16 a color, and they're discounted 20% right now. So if you're wanting to try a cream makeup, I always tell people, if you want to try something, get the travel size. That's what I always did. I wanted to try a setting spray. I buy the travel sizes. This is travel size price. This is a travel size price. Try it. Let's get you color matched. You can't have somebody match you when you're buying Merit, OG, Dibs, whatever you're using. If you're buying it online, you don't have somebody matching you. I do. So send me that makeup free. I'm gonna zoom in on your picture. I'm gonna look at all your stuff. I've got hyperpigmentation. I've got scarring, freckling, under eye discolor. I got stuff, and I want to look at your stuff, and I want you to know that I'm taking into account what you want, because in my form it says, do you want light coverage, full coverage? What do you want out of your makeup? Do you want it more neutral? So I help you make a palette that's custom to you, not me. And that's it. Okay, so we're gonna go in to Aspen first. This is a gray concrete color. It's dense, so when I put it here, it's gonna stay where I put it, and it's gonna hold my makeup on top. So if you have rosacea and it's more of like a fiery red, Aspen's a great option. And we're just gonna sweep this over it, and it mutes that red. See that red? We're gonna mute it. You're still gonna see the stuff. We're fixing the tone of the red. I'm gonna go around my nose, get those broken capillaries. I have a touch of rosacea that comes into it, and I just put this on, and there's no makeup texture. I don't use beauty filters. I don't like them, but I try things, and if it works, I'm gonna tell you about it. And so we're going over the redness. I still see the spots. I'm not covering the spots. This is correcting tone. I just figured gray might dull because gray is dull, and it dulls the red. Okay, my skin still looks like my skin, but the red is dull, and that's what we're trying to do. Okay, our makeup is our coverage. Our corrector is our corrector. Okay, I don't want to turn myself gray. All right, hyperpigmentation is kind of brown, so I pick suede because it's kind of brown. All right, and so we're gonna take that on the bigger end of the shape brush. Okay, I'm just pinching it and getting it into that tin there. All right, and we're gonna go around the hyperpigmentation. I've got it coming in like ivy. Okay, we're going around that hyperpigmentation, colors, spots, sunspots, age spots, hyperpigmentation, whatever you want to call it, stuff. Go around it and help to camouflage it. You're still gonna see it. I'm just putting that color around that color. Does that make sense? We're putting it around the color that is the color. Okay, so when I lay my makeup on top, I'm gonna be picking contours that work with it. I'm going to be picking my main highlights to go around it. If you have hyperpigmentation coming in down here, yes, you can put, don't go as heavy or as toned, but do you see, there's no makeup texture here. This is pigmentation. We're using the 80, this is 80% pigmentation. 80%. Stick foundations, stick creams, 40% pigmentation. Brows are gonna be last. And so when we're putting this on, I've got hyperpigmentation, and it's not as bad on this side, but we're going around and up. And so what I'm doing is putting my color around that color, okay? And the reason we do our brows last is because when I'm doing this, I would mess up whatever I would draw on my brows. And so we're just putting this in. I have some coming in down here, so I'm gonna put a light amount right here for the stick. I want that density over these hyperpigmentation spots because I want these to work kind of like a primer. And so when I lay these creams on top, creams work with your skin, they move with your skin, they live with you. They don't live on it, they live with it. And so having something that's gonna hold it in place all day is key. You want this to move with your skin. If you feel like it's moving, you can move it back, you can reset it. All right, under eyes, I'm staying zoomed in because I want you to see that the correcting I'm doing isn't creating a makeup looking layer. Makeup will always look like makeup when I start putting that on, but these are not leaving behind a creamy finish. My skin still looks like my skin, and I do not use beauty filters. My skin is, I don't inject. I've got stuff. All right, so we're gonna take balm. I use the heck out of it. Okay. The suede, to me, no. So no. What it does is between the aspen I put right here and the suede I put right here, the aspen took the red out of my scarring. The suede is camouflaging the brown spots, and then my foundation color is gonna cover those. And so I just haven't gotten there yet, but having that dense start is gonna hold the makeup there. And then using blushes and contours that work with these things. So I don't like this. Okay, this is a big insecurity of mine. And so for me, I don't wanna see it because I will feel like we are our own worst critics. I will feel like that's all people are looking at. Probably not, but I think they are. So we're gonna take balm and we're gonna put this under our eyes. Our under eyes are a texture. This is gonna help clean up fallout, but this is also going to create hydration. So as you mature, your skin gets dry, but we all have under eyes. This is a soft tissue, so it's naturally going to look crepey. The more product you put on, the more crepey it's gonna look. But having a balm, you can use Aquaphor, you can use the Saint one. I like the Saint one, it's on sale right now. You can use this balm, and when you use the balm, you can grab, let's see, without tipping everything over. I've used our balm with the Tarte Creamy, and it had a really good longevity in my makeup. So if you love your concealer, but that under eye, one, you're probably using a little too much concealer, but put a balm under your under eye concealer if you're using a traditional concealer, okay? But this is gonna help keep the texture of your under eyes not so crepey. It's not going to accentuate your fine lines. It's gonna help the final result of your makeup, because the texture of your skin can be accentuated in a really beautiful way. So when you're sad that you have smile lines coming in, my kids gave me these from laughing. My kids also gave me these from not listening. But a lot of people don't have that luxury of getting older, and so it's okay to have it. It is a luxury that we take for granted every day. Okay, correcting my under eyes, I'm going to use Daylily. I prefer using Lip and Cheeks over Demi, because Demi's not meant to be used with your contours and highlights. Demi was meant to be a standalone product. It's creamy, it's pure pigment, and it will correct, but if you lay makeup on top of it, it's just gonna move it right off and it's not doing its job anymore. It's also expensive. It's 20 something bucks for a little tint, and while they do last a long time, they do one thing. Using Daylily, I will be able to use this on my cheeks, on my lips, and on my under eyes. So Daylily is this color right here. It's a beautiful little pink color. I'm gonna have it as my blush, but a lot of people think if you have scarring or rosacea, you can't use a color like Marrakesh. The sale is not over. The sale goes through tomorrow. So it's still today and still tomorrow. It ends at midnight after tomorrow. So you can still get all these things. Some of them are discounted. Daylily is not. This is a new release. So this is Daylily, and I'm gonna tap this lightly over my darkness up, and then I pull it out. And this is going to turn it a shade of pink, but it's canceling that darkness, and I'm mixing it in with that balm, but it doesn't leave a thick, heavy cream texture, okay? Because I thinned it out, and it's 80% pigmentation, okay? Grabbing it again, and we're gonna go over this darkness here. I have it, my darkness is right in this corner and up in here, so I tap this over, go up into that inner corner, and I just basically turn it a shade of pink. And I tap that over that balm, and I let them work together. And this is gonna give me a place, it's kind of like prepping my lids. This is just prepping all my makeup, okay? But I do not have a creamy makeup texture on my skin, and now I can go and put my makeup on. My makeup is going to look like makeup, but it's gonna look like good makeup. When you're looking at this shine, all of this shine is normal. If you set it with powder and you like a matte finish, that's great, but there's gonna be a result of, you're gonna add some crepiness, you're gonna accentuate some pores, you're going to add texture. If you like that texture look, good on ya. I'm not gonna yuck your yum. I like my skin to bring back that dewy glow that I feel like is fading with my age. I think we're getting, I don't like glass skin, but I do like dewy skin. Okay, we're going into our colors here. I'm gonna use my blush and bronzer brush because this guy helps me with over application. Using a cream makeup, you are able to piece together where you need full coverage and where you need light coverage. I need full coverage in this general area because that's where my stuff is, but I need light coverage, light coverage, light coverage, light coverage. This is my only full coverage area. I also like the look of makeup, but I just want it to look like a quality makeup. Okay, using the small end, I'm gonna go into Sandy, and I'm gonna go over my scarring first. Okay, so let's zoom in. I'm gonna go over my problem area, which is right here over, and I just go nice and light, okay? And then I'm gonna come down my jawline. This area right here does not get blush, it does not get contour. It just needs to get evened out. Now, because this is 80% pigmentation, I want it to give me coverage right here, but I want to get myself balance right here. So I just need a nice light amount in this area. And this is the only place I need my main highlight. Okay, you've started using very little product under your eyes. Okay, that's perfect. It is supposed to be very little. The pigmentation means you still can get coverage with less. It's like getting more with less, all right? It does look so much better. And so putting this over and pressing this into your skin is gonna give that skin-like finish, okay? I don't do a lot. I wait till everything's on before I decide if I need to add more. I just want to even out the skin tone and let things come and fall together, okay? And then I always come down my neck because I get hormonal breakouts under here for some reason, and I pull this down because my neck is lighter than my face. Grabbing some more Sandy, and again, I have discoloration all in this area, so this is the first place I press it first. And then I can bring it down and give myself my balance. One side of the face is not like the other. Sometimes one side needs a little more work than the other. Everybody's face is different, but your main highlight only needs to go down here, and all it needs to do is even things out. Just bring that main highlight down. I'm not putting a lot here because if you can see my light, I have reflecting light, reflecting light, reflecting light. So my brightening highlight is going to go in those places. My natural shadowing is where it's going to go for my contours. And so I'm just pressing this out, getting it nice and evened out, but less makeup with fuller coverage. All right, I'm gonna go into my brightening right over here. This is White Peach, and I'm gonna go right in this area and right here. And then I can tap it out with my finger, and we're gonna accentuate. You have scarring on your chin. Suggestions, what color is your scarring? Is it brown? Is it red? Yes, you always correct before. Always correct before. But is it a brown shade? Is it red like mine was? You need to know those things first because you can do either aspen or suede. And then your main shade can go over it. And then you also might go a little bit darker. You can, I don't know if you're using, sorry, I need to readjust in my drawer. But having a proper color match helps because again, I'm gonna zoom in and see all your stuff that you wanna see, but I also have a paragraph where you tell me everything you want. If it's brownish, I would sweep over it with suede because suede can be used around the perimeter too for your hyperpigmentation. Also, it is a great lip liner. Aspen is kind of one of those things that does one thing, so I do try to do that. But then what you can do is skip brightening right here because sometimes it can pull it. And so instead of putting a brightening shade, just try putting just a main shade over that suede and just see how it works, but play with those two things. All right, I'm going to grab a little bit of, oops, I want brightening. And we're gonna go right into this area. We're gonna go from mid-brow and arch over into this general area. So I always start right here in the middle and then I push it out to the mid of the brows and then up. Just like that. And this just, it gives me coverage. It gives me balance, but it's also working with that reflecting light. If you have a lot of texture, you don't have to do brightening. It's just one of those extra things you don't need. I'm gonna switch to my detail brush because we're gonna go to contour. I'm using Stone. I like Stone in the winter because it has a touch of warmth. And we're gonna follow natural shadowing here. We're gonna go across the forehead and down to that temple. Okay, perfect. I like saying it's just good pigmentation and it's good skin. It helps your skin look better than it actually is. My skin is a texture, but using a cream gives the texture of my skin makes it look like I'm illuminating. I don't use illuminators. I'm gonna grab that brightening with the small end and I'm going to pull it into that contour and I'm getting balance, dimension, and coverage. I'm gonna move that hair somehow. There we go. But I have dimension, good gosh. There we go. Okay, getting that dimension using the contour and the brightening together, and then as they merge together, it creates the balance of a main shade, which is why I didn't need to put it all over my face. All right, we're gonna do the nose. I love doing the nose. We can use your finger, you can use your brush, but you're gonna go on the edge here. And we're gonna draw an overcorrected 11. But you could also use your finger for this part. I don't mind if mine comes together because I have a bump right here. So sometimes I'll just take and I'll correct over that bump and then press it into that natural brow shadow, using your shadows as your guide, okay? Squaring off the tip. But this, I like using the finger better than the brush, and then I'll stamp it out. But I have, one thing always leads to the next, and then bridging it together to help hide my bump. If you have a crooked nose, this helps. If you have a perfectly straight nose or you don't feel like you need to do this, don't. Take what you want, leave what you don't. I like this as more of a method guide, and you can use these methods with traditional makeup. All right, grabbing the small end with a little bit of brightening, and I'm gonna go right down the middle. And then I use my finger. I just think the brush can push it too far out and make my nose look wider than it is. Because your brightening pulls out, whereas shadows pull in. So I just go like this. Easy. And that's the nose. I like doing things super zoomed in just because I want you to see the skin. I'm going to take what's left and add a little shadow under my lip, in between right here. How pretty that is. And then over the lip. And it just will give my lips a bit of a fuller look, in my opinion. It's how I like it. And then I add a touch of brightening around the outer corners for contrast. And there we go. All right, let's talk about, what are we going to go to next? Blush. I do blush. My under eyes are last. It helps get this in order. It helps keep my cheeks in order. But if you have rosacea, Daylily is good. I also really love rosewood. It's a great fall color. I'm gonna grab Daylily, and I have my scarring, and this gives me extra coverage because everything in your palette is foundational coverage. I keep my blush at the tops of my cheeks. Oh, I haven't contoured. And we're gonna go at the tops of the cheeks, and I'm gonna have my contour work with it. So we're going tops of the cheeks up right here, okay? And then we can go into the contour. Using the detail brush, we're gonna go into stone. And I have my spot. Nobody even noticed this until I popped it out. Nobody's looking right here. Just remember that. The only person who looks right there is you, but I get it. So we're gonna stay above this natural shadow, above it. And I smirk a little so I can see where my apples are. And then I come up that temple, just like that. And then I'm gonna go into that Daylily. I'm gonna use the small end just to blend out right here. That's my contour. And if you want to have it super snatched, if you want to add extra lift, you can go into a main highlight and clean things up if you want. And it can do whatever you're wanting it to do. All right, grabbing that stone, staying above this natural shadow. By staying above it, you're going to give yourself some lift, but it will become part of your natural shadow, I promise. Smile, look at it. Use that small end to blend it all together. Can always add more, but I don't worry about anything showing through because I'm noticing that nobody else probably did until after all my makeup's on. Grabbing a little more, and we're gonna get right in here and down. Okay, it's a lot of birthdays today. Marin, happy birthday. Is it Marin, Marin? I always want to say the name, but some of them are hard. All right. Boom. I just like adding a little extra kick right there for a little extra definition. Clean up the jaw. Okay. So I have my blush on. It's just a nice, light, subtle blush. We're going to do the under eyes. I am going to use the small end of the shape brush, silver shape brush. Okay. We're going to go into our brightening highlight. If you have a lot of texture under your eyes, use your main highlight. You don't have to have a brightening highlight. Okay, we're going to grab this. We have natural shine reflecting. We're going to go just above it. And I'm going to go up the orbital bone here, and then I'm going to go into that inner corner. This is going to rein in the contour I have right here. here, my kitties. All right, and then we go to the soft tissue last. And having a light, fluffy brush is gonna help. You don't need a lot. This is 80% pigmentation. You want something that has the pigmentation so you can get the coverage you want with not so much makeup, because you don't want it thick and heavy under the eyes. My makeup will always look like makeup, but it shouldn't be cakey. We're gonna do the brows, I promise. It shouldn't look cakey. And then just take that fluffy end and blend together, grabbing some more, and we're gonna come over here. Texture is texture. I will always have this. It's about accentuating what you want and camouflaging what you don't want, and going around that trough first, up into that inner corner to brighten, hitting that orbital bone first. Helps clean this up, and then going to that soft tissue last. You want less product as possible on that soft tissue. I stipple it in so it works with the texture that's there, so it doesn't accentuate. I mean, we all have crepiness under our eyes, some more than others, no matter what age, okay? And I sometimes like to bring brightening right down here, but this is gonna give you that nice, bright, youthful look. And then if you wanna add more blush, you can. I'm gonna grab a little bit more Daylily. Daylily is one of those colors that you just don't think is gonna show or make a difference, but I'm not going for a big full glam look here, all right? So, nobody's looking at us, but this is where it's coming together. I'm gonna set my makeup. So this is the new setting spray that I'm using. It's called Blue Marble. It is on the pricier side. This is the smallest bottle I could get, and it was about $40. I haven't needed setting powder with it. It has a bit of an alcohol smell to it, but this stuff works so good. This is a water-based film forming barrier to seal makeup. It has the little blue marble, and I got this one off of Amazon, currently out of stock. So keep an eye out, because when it comes back, it's a great addition. And again, anything you get between now and Christmas is a gift. Get away with getting yourself all kinds of stuff right now. Okay, so you shake it up, use that marble to shake things up, and then it has a great mister with it. And then while your face is still damp, you grab this fluffy brush, press it in. I'm a big proponent on pressing in setting spray. And this fluffy brush is gonna pick up any excess product, but it's also, again, it's marrying everything together, picking up excess, and it's pressing that setting spray in. My skin still looks like my skin. It does look like I'm wearing makeup, because I am. If you're wanting no makeup, Demi is a great option if you just have a few things. If you're wanting to correct under eye darkness or a couple of scars, but you don't like makeup, Demi is a really great option. Okay, let's pop on some brows, because you need brows. I like structured brows. That's my jam. So we're gonna take an angle brush. Saint has double-ended. They are on sale. I'm trying to remember what brushes are on sale for right now. 20 or 30% off, I'm not sure. Okay, but the sale goes through tomorrow, so there is still time to get that. And we're just gonna comb our brows in place. Again, get this little palette. This is the one that's on sale. It is available. I use it for eyeshadow, I use it for powder, I use it for my brows. I get super teachy in my videos. Some people like it, some people don't. Okay. Angle end, we're gonna go into, I prefer powder, I prefer eyeshadows. I use Trust because it can work as a really great liner, it can work as a great eyeshadow, and then it can work great as a brow. I always structure my brows bottom corner. I overplucked in 1992? No, 1993 I started. 73, all the tips help. Stippling is your best friend. Don't swirl your makeup on. Stipple it, find a denser brush. That's gonna be the best tip I can give you. And then finding setting sprays that work. If you are very dry, Saint's Fixate is very, very, very good. Very, very, very good. All right, and I always bring my brows out farther than they grow. Quarter of the way in, up and over, get that arch bit built back in. It's my tail of my brow that's just the crazy thin, and then I'm just gonna flick right here. I like my front corner to just be a little more blended and less structured. And I work this out and over. Okay. All right, going up over. Brows matter, man. Brows matter. And then I have my brow wax. I don't share this with anybody, so your brow wax is gonna look like crap too. All right, so if it's very dense and not tacky, spray it with some setting spray or some water. Mine's got so much on there it stays pretty tacky, and then you just comb these hairs up and get them in order. Pick up the excess powder. There you go. I like a structured brow. Everybody's different. I keep my front corner less structured, but it's pretty darn structured, because here's the deal. I have my brow structured on, and this is my natural brow. It's just a little difference. My brow ends here. It's super thin. It's thin up here. It stops here with a couple of weird hairs, but it stops here. This front bottom corner, not so much, and so I fix it. It's the little things that just make the difference. All right, so we're gonna take that angle brush again and finish the other one. And once you, what I always tell people to do is get those stencils off of Amazon. Get those brow stencils. It comes in a pack of different shapes, and find the shape that works and stencil that brow on. And then once it's drawn on, go grab your tweezers and tweeze outside of the color. You can pay somebody to shape your brows. I have the hardest time with trust on that. I also live in a community where it's hard to find good stuff, and I went and I had my brows. I worked so hard. I grew my brows out. I didn't touch them, and they looked wildly awful. And I was growing them out, and then I went in to have them reshaped to fit my face better. I was getting ready to have a baby again, and I just wanted to have my brows fresh, because I knew once I got them shaped, I could maintain them pretty easy. I left with tiny, tiny brows in 2 different shapes. It was awful. Oh, yay, you made my life. I'm kind of at the end, but that's okay. All right, so getting those brows on, and I just extend that tail. I like a good structured brow. Sisters Not Twins a lot like the eyeliner, but let's add a little bit of lip. So I'm gonna use the stain that I have on. I have stain on there. It's on sale, $8.25. There is a link. It's so great. And I'm gonna use the Daylily that I have on my cheeks and my under eyes. And I'm gonna fill it in the middle of the lip. My sweatshirt, I don't know. My sister-in-law got it for me, because after this I gotta go do chicken work. My chickens need some water. They need their bedding refluffed. They need a food restock probably. Get some eggs. Yeah, all right. So Daylily over top of that lip liner, and you just work on blending it out. Look how pretty that is. So that's the pinked lip liner on Amazon. Where are you? $8.25, so it's on sale. Even the regular price is $12. That's a good price, but right now for Black Friday, today's Cyber Monday, right? So $8.25 for these. It is linked, and then Saint has their crazy sale, right? They've never, and I'll go as far as to say this, because they switched to the affiliate program, they're not paying out so much as they were. I mean, there were people that were barely selling, getting huge payouts. That's fine. Great leaders, whatever. They led their sellers, not so much they're not sellers, and then they abandoned. I'm not meaning to talk crap, but I had a real bone to pick with some of those girls that bounced quick on their teams because of the announcement, and they were still getting paid off of them, and it just really tripped my trigger. When people were messaging me, they were like, they shut down our chats, and it's like, they still had 3 months. Anyways, with them switching to the affiliate program, it opened the door to come out with some really great products, but also having this really great sale. And they've never discounted this many things before. This is a great sale, and it's the first time they've ever done something like this. And it's just a good time to try. If you're thinking about trying, I mean, I think this looks really nice. I think this is good looking makeup. Okay. The birthday cake lip oil, you can get, Karen, you need to go, I know you, so I know what your back off, what not your back, but your account looks like. You should go cray on this sale. Like, this is the time to, if you're loving Saint already, this is the time to stock up. This is the time to get those summer colors. Marrakesh is gonna be a summer color. It's so good. Okay, birthday lip oil you can get with points. Don't spend real money on this. You did go crazy. So what you need to do is go log in, and you're gonna go into your upper corner, click the little human, and you're gonna click loyalty points. Go get the lip oil and don't spend real money on it. You can get it with points. It's a great oil. I love it. But don't spend real money on it when you can get it for points. And I know you've got the points for it. But it's sheer. And it smells like vanilla frosting. And it's very pretty. I think these two are pretty comparable. It's kind of, it looks peach. It goes on sheer, just like this one has a purple hue to it. It goes on sheer. I'd love for you to spend money, but I also love when people get a good deal. So it goes on completely sheer for the birthday cake lip oil. The chai has been the one I've been gravitating towards the most. And I just don't, it's sheer. I mean, can you tell the difference? Can you tell the difference? Truly. Do you think that I have to go this close to the camera for you to see a touch of peach? Okay, you need more info on the mascara. Okay. The mascara I'm using is Babe Lash. It's called For Real Mascara, and they have a site-wide sale. I don't think I have that one linked, and I will go and I will link it, but they have an amazing lash serum, and I suggest getting both. I use it twice a day, night and morning, and I've noticed length more than volume. But I was a fake lash wearer, the glue, you know, the ones where you go and have somebody glue your eyes shut, and it destroyed my real lashes. This serum's brought me length. So, okay, why do you think Saint? Okay, so this is what I got to have. This was a couple of years ago. This was like 3 years ago. I actually got to have lunch with the creator of Saint. And the reason they don't have mascara is she says there's already so much mascara. Why do we need another one? And that's why. So that's why. There's already so many good ones. If you go to Babe Lash and you get the mascara, get the lash serum, sometimes they have a buy one, get one. And also a stackable code, I can't put the comment in here, but I'm gonna go link it and I'll put it in there. This is a stolen coupon code from an influencer, and it's the one I use, but BWC15 gets you an additional 15% off. It is a stackable discount. So there's not a lot of creams. Like, she doesn't want to create another mascara because there's already good ones out there. There's not another makeup like Saint. There's other creams, but not with the pigmentation, and then the ingredients are minimal. Minimal. There's a lot of things out there, and I want you to think about skin. Makeup is skincare, so when people infuse, and this is a conversation I've had with a couple of different artists. When you're looking at makeup that's skincare infused, the skincare that's infused into it is very minimal. To be able to do a skincare regimen in your makeup, you would have to have so much of that product. Have a good skincare routine. Have a morning one, have a night one. If your skin is maturing, you're gonna have to take the extra steps. Otherwise, I use Beauty Society. I love the way my skin reacts to it, and I love the way my makeup works with it. I've used a lot of different skincare. I've tried a lot of different skincare. Skincare is super personal. This is why I don't sell skincare. This is why I've never signed up. I've thought about it. I hum and hawed about it all the time, but skincare is crazy personal with the way your skin reacts to it. And the way mine responded to Beauty Society was an overnight difference. It felt incredible. So if you're wanting something with skincare, you need something with minimal ingredients. Not it is what's in it, but it's also the amount that's in it. If you're looking for something with skincare in it, I think Saint's good because it has minimal ingredients, but you need a skincare routine that's for taking your makeup off and then sitting on your skin overnight, and then in the morning having something that works for something that's going to have makeup laid on top of it. It's like SPF. It's like shampoo, conditioner in one. I don't have Saints. I need shampoo and I need conditioner. Shampoo, conditioner in one is just not my jam. It's the same thing with skincare and makeup. You need a skincare routine and you need a good makeup. And when you're doing SPF, it reduces the SPF in it when you mix it with your makeup. So that's why people have SPF on. I use this. This is Supergoop Every Single Face. They're probably having a sale. I should have looked. But I also believe, and I use their powder because I have oily skin. So go check Supergoop. They probably have a sale too. Supergoop Resetting Powder is great for oily skin. Supergoop Resetting Spray is good for dry skin because, and this is because there's, oh, I can't even think of the ingredient. So Saint has an ingredient in it, titanium dioxide, which is like a sunblock, but it's not SPF. It's not for your skin. And so when you're using SPF, it's a lot like using skincare. You need to have it on your skin and let it be on your skin, and then you put your makeup on. SPF, having it in your makeup and tinted moisturizer, that's all great and all because you obviously want the makeup, but you have to reapply it every 2 hours. All SPF has to be reapplied every 2 hours. Are you going to go reapply all of your makeup? No. So that's why I really like having the resetting powder or the resetting spray. And so with that, think of it like your skincare. You can buy the infused makeup. It's not going to do the same as a skincare routine. It's kind of nice, but you're not going to get results from infused makeup. It's a fact. It's nice having it in there, and it's great to say that, but it's also like saying makeup's clean. If you're going to buy something makeup-wise and you really care about if it's clean, and I have a girl that sells Saint that's really into that. Saint is the cleanest out there. It's not clean. You can have one clean ingredient in there and call your makeup clean. Okay? Oh, my tummy. But it's kind of like Bare Minerals. Sounds so clean. It's not that clean. But they do have clean ingredients in it, but they also have some not so clean ingredients in it. So it's all about context, and do your research. Do your research. Don't just take somebody's word for it. And it's kind of like Tommy Boy. Who remembers the movie Tommy Boy? It's like, I could take a shit in the box and say it's guaranteed. I've got spare time. It's the same thing. It's the same. You need one clean ingredient to call your makeup clean. Could be shit in a box. I'm just saying. Okay. Aspen and suede that I use to camouflage my stuff. Yes. I have aspen on my cheeks for my red. I have a touch of rosacea today. It wasn't super flary, but my scarring is red. And then my suede gets my stuff. And you can still see this guy, but not super much. Remember, it's makeup, not magic. So Tommy Boy is like the movie. Every time I got dumped, every time I was sad, Tommy Boy. Okay. What are my top 3 makeup products and their pieces? Okay. My top 3, that's hard. My correctors. Honestly, I'll go to the gym with aspen and suede on and nothing else because it's muted. You still see it, but it's not so crazy. That's a big one. Eyeliner is another one. So correctors, whatever they are. My correctors. I'm going to group my aspen and suede together on that one. And eyeliner. I can put mascara on, but my eyeliner is what gives my eye a more youthful look. It gives me the lift. If I have just mascara on and no eyeliner, my eyes still look really mature. What's a third one? I don't know. Those are like my top 2. I think a good lip gloss. The liner. Yeah, the liner is big for me. I love my eyeliner. It's my favorite. I would say get a pencil over a pen because you can do the wing with a pencil, okay? Um, yeah, lip gloss, just something that's hydrating. I like a hydrated lip. It's really good because using my correctors I can use for other things. I can use that as a shadowing. I mean, suede can work as a contour, and I've done it before, and it works really well. So yeah, let's pop. I want to pop on some Marrakesh because I know we were talking about rosacea earlier. I don't know if anybody's still here that was asking about it, but this is Marrakesh, and I'm going to put it on the shape brush, and I always pop it right up top up here. Okay, I like a tad bit of lip color, or you look washed out. That's why I like I would do coraled, maybe mauve. Look at that. This is such a scary color, but look at how pretty that is. And then you can take that pink color right here. What one was that called again? Winterberry. Taking a touch of Winterberry, and you can put that on and it just seals it in, but it doesn't matte it down. Look at how pretty that is. I just like makeup that's cream. So I guess my third product would just be cream makeups. Like if I was thrown into a beauty store and they were like, this is all you got, cream makeup, finding a good cream makeup, the coral lip stain. Yes. And Just Gloss. Isn't it so pretty? These lip stains are so good. I've sold a lot of them. I've sold a lot of them. I don't make squat off of it. I think I make 2 cents every time somebody buys one, but whatever. It's good stuff. I don't do it I'm not dying for the dollar, and this just is an outlet for me, and I love doing it. But top 3 beauty products: a cream makeup, correctors, and eyeliner. Those are my top 3. But I like makeup. I've always liked makeup. I'm a misplaced Jersey girl, but this is as natural. This is probably my most natural makeup I do. I don't do the no makeup. I will always have eyeliner on. This is it. Okay. But I am gonna go. I gotta go do chicken work. My daughter has an ortho appointment. I gotta finish my Christmas stuff. I've got laundry. It's stuff to do. Stuff to do. But I will be back here next Monday, 8 a.m. Pacific time. And being a natural girl, I want to be a natural girl. Natural looking. I just have never been able to. And it's probably just because it just looks different to me. That's probably why. I'm just so used to the makeup look that going natural, I'm like, I don't look like myself. I should try it. Okay. Have a great day. I will see you guys next Monday. Toodaloo.